I was in a rental, and if I think about it now, the rental was through Martyn Gerrard as well, and I must say that that was a good experience. From moving in, making out the contract through Martyn Gerrard, and terminating the contract. That in itself was a good experience, right? But I didn't want to rent because I decided to stay in London as a home, so I wanted to buy. So that's when my journey started to search for a suitable family house. I think I must have seen through different agencies 100 houses within a span of less than a month, right? And it was like the after work, the weekends, and at the end of the day, everything that Martyn Gerrard introduced me was more to my liking. In comparison to the other agencies, sometimes you waste time because it's not what they say it is. It's not how you see it in the website. So I found that every time I visit the house with Martyn Gerrard, first of all, they were on time. They said what they said they would do in terms of the condition of the house, the situation of the seller, because that's also important, right? Because it's usually a chain. And the situation of the seller is also important. So you gotta get the truth on that. So Martyn Gerrard, and I must admit Dario, who was the agent that I dealt with, it was very honest, true basically, and everything went according to what they told me that it would go. And not only that, showing the house and finding the home that I liked, which is this house here, right? Also the process itself, right? Bidding process, getting the bidding accepted, both in the interest of seller and the buyer. You got to be realistic on that, right? And also, I have to say, the other parties that they recommended me to work with, like the solicitor, right? Mortgage broker. And I think it was one of the best experiences in my life in terms of protecting your interest, right? So that, as a total package, going through this, very difficult process, everybody tells you, buying a house, with Martyn Gerrard, I think it made it easier. So that overall, I think, very good experience. It was professional for sure, but at a level of almost being personal, right? And that trust that was built during each communication, and the relationship with the seller as well, because it's a long process, right? And until the last minute, it can drop. Anybody can actually pull off, right? Keeping the chain, I think it was a chain that Martyn Gerrard and Dario, managed. I think it was a chain of 6, buyers that had to come in place, and I think we achieved a record buying time. It was, I think, from the bidding to the closing, it was 2.5 months, right? So I think it was a very good experience. It made it easier. It wasn't as painful as people tell you. It's painful to buy a house. So it was a very good experience. And, if I compare this, the experience I went through with Martyn Gerrard, compared to the other agencies, because like I said, I must have seen 100 houses, right? And not only with Martyn Gerrard, but different agencies as well. I don't think I can even compare. Some of them were not on time. Some of them, they didn't show me what I asked them to show me, right? It was just something else. Some other people just pulled 2 buyers together without telling you. So it was just a waste of time, right? I even had agencies not showing up. So you cannot compare. So, I had a very good experience. And I think I'll say those 2 things, right? If I were to sell the house, I wouldn't think of any other agency than Martyn Gerrard and Dario that I can put trust in their hands, but then nobody else, right? And the second thing, Dario was so professional. I think he represented the values of Martyn Gerrard, right? And the professionalism that Martyn Gerrard brings so well. If I had a firm and if I had to hire, an agent, I would definitely hire Dario. It was that good of an experience.